hey, I didn't see you there. Hey guys, Colin the Big Yoshi here, and welcome back to day 3 of my Marvel Marathon. And I just want to start off real quick by saying that, sorry about the Incredible Hulk one. I actually uploaded it 10 hours ago. It was like right before midnight, so technically I did do it yesterday, but I accidentally made the video private and I didn't notice. So, yeah, sorry about that. Just been trying to keep to a daily schedule, and I know that my 7 subscribers probably don't care all that much about my consistent schedule. It's more of a personal goal. I'm trying to I don't know, I'm just trying to be consistent. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Iron Man 2. Yeah, this was the 3rd movie in the MCU, and now we're going to review it. So I think the first thing that I'm going to talk about is... Okay. First we're going to talk about the story, alright? So the story of this movie is that Tony Stark has just become Iron Man, and after being Iron Man for like a year and stuff, and everybody loves him, he realizes that the arc reactor in his chest is killing him, but he also needs it to power the Iron Man suit, and to keep the shrapnel out of his heart. So the device that's keeping him alive is also killing him at the same time, because of his blood is getting all toxic. So this movie is kind of emotional throughout the entire film, because Tony knows he's gonna die, but he won't tell anybody about it, and he's just kind of depressed and stuff, like the whole movie, and it's kind of sad. He just doesn't tell Pepper. He was going to tell her, but he doesn't get a chance to. He was going to tell Rhodey, doesn't get a chance to either. And then also the villains, Justin Hammer and Whiplash, are pretty good villains. Whiplash comes along, and he just starts slashing his whips at Tony and stuff. And Justin Hammer, who's Tony's rival, he sees this, and he's like, well, I want to make Stark's suit look like a relic of the past. So maybe this guy could help me build some new suits that I think would be way cooler. So he hires Whiplash, and they start working together. But what Justin Hammer does not know is that Whiplash is actually working behind his back, and he is trying to kill Stark. Now, let's actually talk about the villains, because I think that a lot of people don't like Justin Hammer, and I actually thought he was an okay villain. I thought he was decent. I'm kind of in the middle of good and bad. He seemed like he was a decent parallel to Tony. You could definitely believe that they would be rivals, and their interactions are they're great. They're very funny. And I think that Justin Hammer isn't actually a violent person or anything like that. I think that he feels jealous of Tony, and he wants the spotlight instead of Tony, because they basically are they're kind of the same, but he's just jealous of him. And yeah, I don't think he was very violent. I'm not sure if he was actually trying to kill Tony or not. I don't think he was. Alright, and then Whiplash, who is kind of the main villain. Now, Whiplash is a guy named Ivan Vanko, and Ivan Vanko is a guy from Russia who belongs to a family that could have been a very powerful family like the Starks, but unfortunately, the Starks ended up kind of overthrowing the Vanko family, sort of, and they've been competing, like, ever since. And then that's why Whiplash goes and he tries to kill Tony Stark, because of their competing, because of their family's, like, competing values and stuff like that. And I think it's a decent villain format. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the new additions to the cast here. So there are a couple new characters introduced in this movie, and I think that they're pretty good additions. Like, Happy is a fun little addition. You know, he's like, you know, he's just a fun guy to add. Jon Favreau. It's cool that he's in these movies. Like, it's a nice little cameo, I guess, but he actually does have kind of a funny character. Black Widow. They introduced her, and she's become, like, a mainstay Marvel character ever since. And I think she's pretty good in this movie. So I talked about this a little bit in the Iron Man video, but I think that Don Cheadle is, in some ways, better than Terrence Howard as Rhodey. I really like the way that they subtly, like, put him in the movie. Well, not very subtle at all, actually. Tony goes up to him, and he's like, Rhodey, I didn't know you were going to be here. And he's like, yeah, I'm here. It's me. Deal with it. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, he's just, I think that, like I said before, I'm just going to reiterate this. Terrence Howard was better as a military man, but Don Cheadle is better as a friend to Tony, I think. So yeah, you know, I think he's a pretty good addition, even if some people don't think that he is better. Alright, let's talk about some of the standout scenes in this movie. So, overall, there are, not a lot of great scenes. This is one of the more forgettable, MCU movies, and it was definitely not as good as the first. But it wasn't, like, entirely unlikable either. It just felt like there were a ton of plot lines, but there weren't a lot going on. So yeah, let's just talk about some of the standout scenes. The fight with Tony and Rhodey, that's a great scene. I really like that scene. Especially the music, like, in it. I love both those songs. Another One Bites the Dust and It Takes Two, both great. I like the scenes with Stark being really emotional because he believes he's gonna die and stuff. And there are a lot of really funny scenes. Like, this movie's really funny. It's definitely where the Marvel quips and jokes started. Like, this one just started having all the humor in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the courtroom scene from the beginning of the movie, that is, like, that's a great scene. Yeah, that's just a really great... That's a really funny scene. What else? We have, like, the party scene where he's drunk as well. That one's really funny. It's kind of sad as well, though, because, you know, his blood toxicity. Now, like I said, this movie definitely isn't as good as the first one. It's not very memorable, you know. It's like, there are a ton of plot lines, but, you know, it felt like there wasn't... Like, the movie was kind of empty, stuff like that. Like, and I still think that, like, there were a lot of plot lines, they just didn't need to be in the movie. You know, like, there was the one about Pepper being the new head of Stark Industries, and I feel like that one was just kind of random, and it didn't really add anything. And also, the one about Stark's dad, I see why they put it in the movie. I just don't think it's like, the greatest plot line of all time. I'm not crazy about the plot line where his dad left him a clue to making a new element inside a map. Like, that just seems kind of random. It was like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where his dad leaves coins inside a calculator to put into a train station so that a train comes out of the ground, and then that's his lab. That's kind of what it felt like to me, but, I mean, obviously not as stupid as that. And yeah, I guess last thing I'll talk about the final battle arena. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I talked about the Incredible Hulk, how I really liked some of the atmosphere. I really like the atmosphere in this movie as well. Like, Stark Expo, that was a pretty cool atmosphere. And when I think they were in Central Park with all the cherry blossom trees, that was a pretty cool atmosphere as well. So yeah, I didn't really have a ton to say about this movie because it just, I don't know, it was an alright movie overall. I think it was just kind of, I don't think it really needed to be there, but whatever. It was decent. It set up the Avengers and stuff like that. So a pretty decent movie. I think I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 because it just felt like too overcrowded with plot lines and I don't know, the main plot just like I've already kind of forgot about it. It's just kind of forgettable, and this movie's just kind of there. Doesn't really add anything to the MCU except an Avengers setup. So yeah. But that'll be all for my review. If you liked it, then maybe feel free to drop a like and subscribe. That'd be pretty awesome. So, yeah. See you tomorrow for day 4. Thor. Bye, guys.